Hello everyone. I'm going to do another uh, video sermon video, however you want to term it. I've been doing series, and I'm on the last one I did was lessons from the spider, and today it's going to be lessons from the ant. I'm going to be in Proverbs 30:24 through I think it's 28. And it says, "There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth, all of them by bands. The spider takes hold with her hands and is in kings' palaces." And that's what we did last time, was about the spider. So today we're going to study the ant, if we can, if God will help us. What can the ant teach me? You might be saying. Well, you'd be surprised. They're tough. Um, I used to work at pest control, and they're about as tough a thing as you can come up against. They are very tough, and I've relayed the story before. I did all the Madison County and Madison City schools, and I had this one school, and this man did work on the side at a farm after they get out of school 3 o'clock, 3:30, whatever. So he'd go down there so many times a week and work. And he was down there working, and I had him a torch, and he went to the back through the gate, and there was a big old ant mound, huge. And he took his torch and he lit it ablaze. He stood there and watched it burn. And he said, "I got him." Well, that's the thing about the ants. You may think you've got them, but they are tough. They've endured a lot of things. And so a few days later, he came back down there to do some more work, and he thought about the ant mound, and he looked over there, and there it was. It was burnt to a crisp. And he said, "Man, I got them." And he looked over there, and the ones that survived the fire just made a heap out of the bodies of the ones that didn't survive the fire. They went right down the way there, and they started another mound. The easiest way to live your life is learn from others' past failures and accomplishments. I've learned from my mistakes, but I prefer learning from other people's mistakes. It's more challenging to take advice from someone that's not yet benefited from their own solutions, like a homeless man trying to tell you how to be a billionaire. Ants, on the other hand, fall into the successful categories, and they can teach us how they succeed time and time again. One thing, they're driven by purpose. They have a clear long-term objective that shapes everything they do, and that's what you need, is a clear long-term objective that determines everything you do, so that there's no wasted effort. One ant's sole job is to find food for the colony. That's his job. That's what he does. He don't try to get in on the other person's job. He just does that job. This is his purpose, and he spends his time and energy. And so, since that's what he does all the time, and he puts his time and energy in it, it compounds his chances for success. We need to minimize our engagement with activities that draw you away from your main purpose. We need to focus on that we are supposed to be doing. And we've got a lot of distractions today. It said, "Let the words of your mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable unto thee," something like that. And we don't have time to meditate, but we should, because Jesus had a garden spot. He liked to get off to himself. Ants work as a team. Now there you go, brothers and sisters. Ants are team workers and work together in order to achieve something great. In the same way, in order for you to achieve something great, You must align yourself with others who can help propel you to another level. I learned about a word called synergy when I was in school, and the best I remember, it means that as a team, uh, the parts together can do more than the individual parts on their own. Uh, they have a time to rest, ants do, and a time to work. Ants have to work with the natural season. So in the summer, they gather their food, and in the winter, they hibernate to conserve energy because of the lack of food. So we need to know. We get burnout. So we can't do everything. We have to reserve what we're going to do for the things that matter the most. You have to know what your it is, and you have to go after that. Ants think big. Ants may be tiny. They may seem insignificant on the planet because of their size, but their colonies build and contribution to society is extremely significant and great. What big dreams do you have for your future? Pursue those. No matter how small you think you are, you should always pursue something bigger than yourself. You need to be relentless. You need to be consistent. And you need to be thankful. Ants prepare ahead. They prepare the food in the summer because they know there'll be a time when there'll be no food to find in the wintertime. So they're constantly preparing for a season which is yet to come upon them. And that's different than us, of course. When you should be studying, you're watching TV. You're on Facebook. You're communicating with friends. I started a long time ago. I didn't know I was preparing for this, but I started a long time ago to put things aside in my head that could help somebody else. Hopefully that was the thing. The only way you can maximize any given moment is by preparing for it. If you think ahead to whatever you got to do tomorrow and then work your way backwards, you would then be able to prepare adequately. I like to, my brother Dwayne, he was an attorney, and he visualized. If he had a case the next day, he thought through what he was going to say and what the other fellow was going to say, and he visualized it. You need to visualize in your mind what you're going to do tomorrow and today, and fall through that. I tell you, my brother was something else. Dwayne, he represented Progress Rail. I heard a story about him. I wasn't there, but they said that he represented a client, a vendor, on something that happened at the railway, and the fellow he was defending had never seen him, and so Dwayne goes down there, and Dwayne hadn't actually come in the courtroom or whatever it was, the hearing room or whatever, but the other two opposing attorneys were sitting there, and the man saw him. He knew they were going to be against him, and they had three-piece suits on and briefcases sitting at a conference table, and he thought, man, these guys are impressive. I hope my guy, Dwayne Cantrell, I hope my guy is at least that sharp. And in comes Dwayne. Did you ever know about Columbo? That was my brother. I mean, he looked like he just didn't know where he was going, or he was mismatched. Didn't look like he had it together. But that was a deceptive thing he used. But he was on it. And he wanted you to relax. But he comes in the room, and the man looks at him and said, oh, that's my attorney? Oh, well, I'm in trouble against these two guys. So Dwayne's over there while the other guys are preparing their case. Dwayne's done it the night before, and he's reaching in a candy bowl, fishing around for some kind of candy. And I wasn't there, but they told me, I think more than one person said that Dwayne blew him out of the water. You got to visualize what you're going to do. You have a tendency in your subconscious mind, I'm told, to complete the picture that you've got in there. So your mind, subconsciously, unconsciously, whatever, goes to work to complete that picture that you've given it. So give it successful pictures. Ants carry workloads they can handle. Although they're small, ants can handle up to 100 times their weight. Ants serve one another. Living for yourself that's a pretty lonely thing. That's like the Maytag repairman. Serving other people one step further asks, what can I do for you? You start to live beyond yourself and purposely contribute positively to others. When few ants in a colony infected by a fungal disease, they spread the disease through the colony, licking it off one another, and each ant receiving as much of the disease as the individual immune system can fight off effectively. A man did a study to show he could keep food unopened in a room and keep ants from getting to it. In the center of a large room, he placed a huge tub filled with water. He placed a bar stool in the middle of the tub, and on the bar stool he put a plate of chocolate candy. Around the tub he painted a wide band of slow-drying glue. He sealed the room tight. 6 days later he checked the room. The ants were all over the candy. How did they manage this? The first obstacle was the glue. Hundreds of ants sacrificed their bodies to become a bridge for the others. The water was the second obstacle. The ants carried up a little bit of grass and wood and put them together with their spit to form a bridge to swing across the leg of the bar stool. Another kind of ant took an easier route. They just simply climbed up the wall to the ceiling above the stool and dropped down on the chocolate. Another example of persistence is the soldier of marching ants of Malaysia. They march across the jungle, devouring what is in their path. If they come to a river they want to cross, some break away from the group, and a few go upstream, and a few go downstream till they find the exact spot to cross. They go back to the colony and somehow communicate which way to go. The spot they choose is a sharp bend in the river where the water happens to be flowing diagonally. The ants interlock with each other to become balls around the size of coconuts, then roll down the bank into the river and let the current carry them across. On the other side, they untangle and continue their march. And it's been discovered that certain kinds of ant have a passion for the sweet glandular substance given off by the caterpillar of a large butterfly. They become so addicted to it that they even seek out the supplier and carry him to their nest with delight. But they unwittingly bring home the enemy in disguise, for the caterpillar gorges himself exclusively on ant larvae. Usually such a threat to the colony will be repelled with great vigor, but the adults enjoy the tasty secretions of the guests so much that they're oblivious to the fact that their young are being devoured in the process. Is that what we're doing, brothers and sisters? Are we bringing the enemy home? Are we bringing the enemy to church with us? And I talked about the spider, and I'm talking about the ant. And both of them, if you tear down an ant mound, if you tear down a spider web, they start building back immediately. So COVID's tearing up a lot. Coronavirus is tearing up a lot. But we need to get right back in there and start building again. It's easy to tear down, hard to build up. We need to work together. I remember in school, I don't know why I thought about this, but I've mentioned it before. I remember when I was growing up, we didn't have the games that they got now. I'm not saying poor, pitiful me. My daddy told me about what he had, and it was less than what I had by far. But we played kick the can and Red Rover, and hide and seek. But Red Rover, we'd stand in a line. There'd be another line of others over there opposing us, and you would say, Red Rover, send so-and-so right over. And you tried to pick the weakest one, the weakest link or whatever, and they'd come over. And we didn't hold hands like this. You know, you formed a band like that, and we was up close to each other. There is a spirit that is trying to get between the children of God. I'm telling you it is. You believe me or not? I know you believe me. And it's trying to get in between us. And we need to get close as we can. And that's where our strength lies, is in our unity. I've been a little longer today than I usually do, but I felt like telling you this. I love you. I've been given my number. It's 256-508-4410. And If you need me, you can call or text me. I probably won't get back with you right away, but I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Why are you doing this, Brother Dale? Well, I believe that God's drawing me to do this, and I care about you. I care about you very much, and I just want to try to help you some way. If, like I say, if you need me, let me know. Let's love one another. May God bless you.